This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, this topic is going to be about the Federal Pandemic Unemployment Compensation Program. Most of us are going to know that as the $600 extra a week that you may be eligible for if you're collecting state unemployment. I just want to give a quick overview of it because I learned a few things and I wanted to share those with people. So it is unearned income. This was a lesson for me. I thought only state unemployment was counted as unearned income. According to the Social Security Administration, both the federal and state benefits are counted as unearned income. This is important because if you're collecting SSI, the dollar for dollar reduction is going to mean you're not going to have any SSI at all the month that you're collecting the federal unemployment surplus check, because you're getting you're getting extra $600 a week times 4 weeks. That works out to be an extra an extra $2,400 a month. So even at the maximum Social Security limit for SSI, which is $783 federally, you might be getting more in your state. You're going to be out of that probably within the first 2 weeks. So don't plan on receiving SSI while you're receiving unemployment. If you do receive SSI the same month you receive unemployment, you might have to pay it back. Just be aware that unemployment is going to reduce your SSI benefit dollar for dollar. It will not affect your Social Security disability income, your SSDI. And for those of you that want to research the actual instruction, it's found here at Palms. This Palms, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to copy and paste this or you have to type it in on your own URL. This is where you can go to see the instruction and read about it for your own to get more detail. I'm a big believer in doing your own research. It's helped me because I've taken things at face value when I've read it on news articles or what have you, or other trainings, and I come to find out it's incorrect. So now I do my best to do my due diligence and whenever possible share where I'm finding this information with everybody else. Now I did not share the link to the DOL letter, but if you go to the DOL website, you can DOL is Department of Labor, you can get it. This is all from the letter. These are the different types of unemployment and benefits that you could receive and still qualify for the extra $600 a week. I wanted to stress that the state extended benefits is, the state may call it extended benefits, and what it means is when you've used up all of your, let's say your state gives you 24 weeks of unemployment benefits, and you are now getting an additional 12 weeks of benefit. Because you used up the initial 24 weeks, I'm just using the numbers because I don't know the exact numbers for the state. I think it's 39, but I don't want to guess. So I'm using an example. 24 weeks is the end of the traditional state benefit. You get an additional 12 weeks granted to you because we're in a crisis, state of emergency for the state declared or what have you. Those extra 12 weeks of benefit, you are not eligible for the federal COVID extra $600 a week. It started back in April. The money was available the week ending for April, and it's scheduled to end on 31 July. If your state didn't have things in place to start paying you right away, you may be getting money retroactively. I think by now most states are probably paying it if they, if they're in the program, then they've probably already got it set up, and you should be receiving the extra $600 a week. If you are receiving the extra $600 a week, it does not affect Medicaid benefits or your child health insurance programs, CHIP. So it does not count as any type of income for these benefits. Because many states have waiver programs that are funded by Medicaid. It could be your autism waiver. It could be any type of waiver paid for or provided for the state, paid for by Medicaid, is going to fall under this Medicaid ruling. So it's hard to say what the different states are called. In Maryland, we have a community pathways waiver that is a Medicaid waiver. So if there are income limits associated with that waiver, those income limits are waived because it's a Medicaid program. And that comes out of Section 2104H of the CARES Act. If all you need to do is be receiving $1 of unemployment compensation. So if you haven't filed for unemployment because you think, well, I'm not going to get very much, I might only qualify for $5 or $10, I would still apply. And because if you are eligible for, even $5 or $10, you could get that extra $600 a week federal benefit. However, if your unemployment benefits are being garnished because you owe money, then even though you're eligible, it's possible that that money could be garnished as well. Same goes for child support. If you are paying child support from your unemployment, you have to deduct the child support as required. So let's say it's 20% of your unemployment. You would have to deduct that 20% from your federal unemployment as well. So just be aware that if you have other responsibilities or debts or things that are being withdrawn from or reducing your unemployment benefit, those same things will affect your federal benefit as well. Although it is unearned income, it is taxable and reportable. You will receive a 1099-G from your state at the end of the year, and it will be you'll need to report it. You can decide to withhold taxes from it now. If you tell the state I want to withhold 15% for federal taxes, they're required to withhold that. But you have to request that they withhold it. It's not going to automatically happen. Some things related to COVID that are unique. If you aren't working because of COVID, let's say you worked for a restaurant, the restaurant shut down or reduced staffing because they are no longer able to seat people in their restaurant, even though they're doing takeout, but you're not working because of that, you become qualified for unemployment. If you're quarantined because, let's say you or a member of your family in the house is sick and now you guys are all quarantined and you can't go to work because they're not letting you leave the house, you become qualified for unemployment, assuming, of course, that you meet the other requirements of wages and how much you've earned based on your state. If you leave because you have to care for a family member, let's say your mom, your dad, or perhaps your brother or sister, you live with them and you are worried about exposing them. So you don't want to work in a place where you run the risk of getting infected, so you stop working because of that. You are eligible for unemployment. And finally, if you're self-employed or a gig worker, you are eligible. So if you are selling things on Etsy and you're reporting income, and it can't just be a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there, but if you're using it to make a reasonable income, be it driving for Lyft or Uber or doing selling courses on Fiverr or any type of thing like that, where you're generating income based on things that you're either creating or selling, some type of business, and you're earning income from it, you can file for unemployment insurance. Now, you don't have to quit to receive the benefits. If you just work out with your employer, hey, I just can't come in, but I still want the job. They hold your position for you. You're furloughed or what have you, then you can apply for this. And self-employment and gig workers, you're not quitting, right? You're just not able to do the job, but as soon as restrictions are lifted, you'll be right back out there. So you can, again, I go back to the Uber and Lyft driver because there's not much demand with everybody in lockdown. So many of those that are doing that as a side hustle or a gig aren't making any money right now. And that means they could potentially qualify for the unemployment, but they have to show whatever their state requirements are based on quarters and wages earned. That's the bigger piece, right? All of this is contingent on you qualifying for your state to receive unemployment benefits. So I can't tell you what all 50 states and District of Columbia, what their requirements are for unemployment insurance. If you think you may be eligible, I encourage you to go to your state and look at what the eligibility requirements are. I would also want to warn you when you apply for unemployment, because there are so many people filing right now, the process is probably going to be very difficult and it's probably going to be very frustrating just because, in my opinion, I don't think any state was ready for the number of people that are filing for benefits at this time. And I think every state is doing the best they can to make accommodations and help people as best they can get their applications submitted and paid out. As always, Eric Jorgensen, email is the best way to reach me. If I come across more information, I'll be sure to share it with people. And employment is not our primary focus. We are more primarily focused on helping people receive state and federal benefits with regards to their waivers. However, there is a lot of question about this. I wanted to do my best to help answer those questions, and I will continue doing the research.